The Aegean wind howled across the narrow strait, carrying with it the scent of salt and the distant cries of gulls. On the rocky promontory of Sestos, the last Persian stronghold in the Chersonese, the defenders peered nervously over the battlements. Below them, the Athenian fleet, a forest of black-hulled triremes, had blockaded the harbor. The siege had dragged on for months, and now, as winter tightened its grip, desperation gnawed at both besiegers and besieged. Among the Athenians, a young strategos named Xanthippus stood on the deck of his ship, his cloak whipping in the wind. His father had fought at Marathon, and he carried that legacy like a weight upon his shoulders. The Persians had been driven from Greece, but here, in this distant outpost, they clung stubbornly to power. Sestos was the key. Its fall would secure the Hellespont and ensure no Persian army could cross into Europe again. Inside the city, the Persian governor, Artayctes, paced his chambers. A cunning man, he had ruled Sestos with an iron fist, extracting tribute from the Greek cities under his control. But now, with the Athenians at his gates, his allies had melted away. The Thracians had abandoned him, the city's grain stores were dwindling. Yet he refused to yield. "They will not break us," he muttered to his captains. "The walls are strong. Let them waste their strength against stone." But the Athenians had no intention of storming the walls, not yet. Xanthippus had ordered his men to tighten the blockade, cutting off all supply routes. Hunger, he knew, was a weapon as deadly as any sword. The long winter weeks passed. The cold deepened. Inside Sestos, the people grew restless. The Persian garrison, though disciplined, could not ignore the whispers of rebellion among the Greek inhabitants. Many had grown weary of Persian rule and saw the Athenians as liberators. One night, under cover of darkness, a fisherman slipped past the Persian sentries and rowed out to the Athenian fleet. Brought before Xanthippus, the man knelt, his voice trembling. "The people suffer, Lord. The Persians hoard what little food remains. If you attack now, the gates will be opened to you." Xanthippus studied the man's face. A trap? Perhaps. But if the people were truly ready to rise, he made his decision. The night assault, the attack came at midnight. Athenian hoplites, their armor muffled with cloth, rowed silently to a secluded stretch of shore. Guided by the fishermen, they scaled the rocky cliffs, avoiding the main gates where Persian sentries stood watch. Inside the city, the conspirators moved. A handful of Greek rebels ambushed the guards at the western gate, cutting them down before they could raise the alarm. The heavy wooden doors groaned open, and the Athenians poured in. Shouts erupted through the streets. The Persians, roused from sleep, scrambled to form a defense, but chaos reigned. Artayctes, realizing the city was lost, gathered his household guard and made for the eastern gate, hoping to escape into the wilds of Thrace. The pursuit. Xanthippus, leading the main assault, heard the reports of Artayctes' flight. He could not let the Persian governor escape. His capture would be a symbol of final victory. After him, he ordered, and a detachment of cavalry gave chase. The Persians fled through the hills, but their progress was slow. Artayctes, unused to hardship, soon faltered. Near a desolate shrine of Protesilaus, the Athenian horsemen closed in. Cornered, the Persian governor turned, his sword raised in defiance. "You think this is the end?" he spat. "The great king will return, and your cities will burn." The Athenian captain, a grizzled veteran of Salamis, dismounted and drew his own blade. "Not in our lifetime." The fight was brief. Artayctes fell, his blood staining the sacred ground. The fall of Sestos with their leader dead, the remaining Persians surrendered. The city gates were thrown open, and the Athenian army entered in triumph. The people of Sestos, gaunt from hunger but jubilant, greeted them as saviors. Xanthippus stood before the assembled citizens, his voice ringing clear. "Today, Sestos is free. No longer will you suffer under Persian tyranny. You are Greeks, and you stand with your brothers." A great cheer rose into the cold dawn air. Epilogue: the siege of Sestos marked the end of Persian dominance in the region. With the Hellespont secured, Athens tightened its grip on the vital trade routes, ensuring its supremacy in the Aegean. But as Xanthippus gazed eastward, toward the vast empire that still lay beyond the horizon, he knew this was not the end. The Persians would not forget this defeat.